see anyone, and I don't think we can, which means we're good. I haven't seen you for a little while, though normally people don't see me as often as you do. You're quite a little bit of the connoisseur, aren't you? Maybe in lesser words, we might call that just perhaps a little bit of tingle junkie, and someone who is a fine purveyor, a collector of certain rare antiquities and tingles for you to fall asleep to and relax to. Oh, no. Please do call me by my first name. That's Samuel. Pleasure. So, it turns out that Waters seems to have travelled a little bit in the right areas, and some new stock, some new items have come in with some very powerful triggers, which I knew as soon as I managed to acquire them, there'd be a fine collector of certain antiquities, such as yourself, would soon be wanting to contact me. So these are very highly illegal triggers. They're very effective. I haven't really been tested that much. Okay, so the cause is if you fall asleep, then of course I might just have to make a swift departure, because they are that strong, they're useful. They have been around for quite some time, however, tweaked and altered ever so slightly. And you've got yourself the perfect tingle, and that's what I am filled with today. So, you know the drill. Time is short, and there's plenty of guests inside at the moment. We don't want to be suspicious. We're lucky enough to head far out in the gardens here, so slightly away from it all, so we can enjoy our certain illegal ASMR triggers in peace and tranquility as well, whilst I show you what I've got to offer, see if they work on you, and of course then you can just let me know if you want any, or if you're just simply here to get your little fix of relaxing triggers, as sometimes I know that a lot of people do that as well. So that's why I do what I do, you know, to help all those particular types of people. So if at any point you feel a little bit sleepy, like you're going to fall asleep, maybe just give me a little nod or something like that, and I'll move on to the next one. Or, you know, just so we don't have you collapsing on the floor, then I will have to just sort of leave you there for a little while. Like I said, we don't really know how powerful these triggers really are just as yet. So that means it's a little bit in the testing stage, which means that you could fall asleep instantly, or it might take you a little while. However, I think that you seem well versed in the way of ASMR triggers, especially legal ones as well, ones that are not officially triggers out on the market yet. So, which makes me have a little bit of confidence in you that you will be able to do that right thing. Just let me know when you feel any triggers whatsoever. Okay, right. So let's have just a quick look around. We want to make sure that neither of us will follow it now. And I know that lots of people, such as myself, do enjoy a nice garden walk. So we'll just have a quick check, a quick listen. And have you found it strange, an odd occurrence, that every time that we meet, it tends to be raining? Why is that? Well, you're nicely dressed, I can see, as am I, for all sorts of weather, so this is going to be highly appropriate sort of tingles for you. So I'm fully loaded with things to offer you here. This is going to be a really great tingle and a great start for you, okay? So just let me know what you think about this. This is a very powerful trigger, a very powerful tingle, and it's one of the most popular. Currently, this has been slightly altered. little tiny bubbles in there as well. These emulate those extra sounds there for you. So I'm just going to move it around you a little bit. Like I said, if I see you fall asleep or anything like that, you know, I will know when to stop, of course. But if you get to that point, just like I said, just let me know. But these are very good, powerful, illegal triggers, which really are very valuable and sought after at the moment. So just relax to it. Let me know what you think. So, yeah, I could see already that it only takes a couple of moments for you before you sort of descend into your relaxing stage, and that's of course very good, but of course not so great when you've got new, some highly sought after tingles and triggers. So this has multi-purposes. So you have the spray which emulates from the bottle here. You have the little tiny bubbles up in there as well. Also, you have 2 more triggers in there. Okay, so we have ready. Same again. So that's one of them. And then also, which is very effective, I seem to have got just a little bit carried away with that particular one myself there as well. It's quite a entrancing trigger, and you can see why it's quite legal now, can't you? That means that if you listen to it just a little bit too much, then you might start to feel the effects just a little bit too soon, and that's what tends to happen with particular new ones. So we've got to be careful and make sure that we don't overdo it now, do we? We don't want you to fall asleep straight away. We have many other well sought after antiquities to show you and enjoy and look after. Okay, but that was a very good one, wasn't it? So I have different sort of classes of triggers that can be sought after, and I'm pretty sure that I might be able to acquire it for you in quite a soon amount of time as well. It's just a little bit of a shipment delay, but it would be top of the list, of course. Okay, so we have something here which is a little bit more on the, it will be more on the mass production side. This is a very well sought after trigger, very effective, and has some really powerful results. And this particular item includes a very strong and powerful children in there as well. And someone who loves ASMR, then this is certainly going to be quite effective on you. So I'll be sure to keep an eye on you just a little bit more this time and make sure that you're going to be, let's say, looked after, and you can get your triggers, of course. And I want you to have your triggers, but I also want you to be able to listen to them more and hear them more, hear the sound of them more. Okay, so let's try this one out. Let me know what you think. What do you think? You're most correct in thinking that you can tell why they are highly legal, and of course why they're being very well sought after. We don't quite know why natural ways to fall asleep tend to fall in the illegal category for some reason. I'm not quite entirely sure of that. However, this is very powerful, and I think because of its pure strength, that is probably the reason alone why you perhaps wouldn't be able to just sort this officially, shall we say. Okay, well, that's just the sound of the item. Next, we're going to listen to the spray sound of it, equally powerful and equally trigger inducing. So for a particular enthusiast, a particular collector such as yourself, I'm sure is very much going to appreciate this. So, just do with it as you can. Try not to fall asleep just yet. And you don't mind me spraying you with it, do you? Thank you so much. I mean, it's already raining already, so. So you can see that this has a very, shall we say, different texture than other sprays which we've had. This has a very smooth sort of particular hit to it, which can be, of course, very effective as well. So, we're just going to pop that one away because I have quite a lot to show you, and I think this next one could be very, very suited for you. But if you just let me know what you think of it as well, so make sure we get the right item here for you. And of course, I would really appreciate it as we continue here, that we just keep checking and making sure that we don't see anybody activities here, you will see me completely disappear into the bush. So just keep a little eye out. Right, but this particular tingle it sort of comes in a little pair, and these particular sprays are very, very effective, very smart trigger inducing, and of course very expensive. That's only because of the nature of the bottle. And if the bottle, of course, is very expensive, then you know the trigger and tingle, of course, is going to be equally that as well. So there's not too much triggers in here, but it's effective enough. And once you listen to this trigger, then you'll experience how good it sounds and feel those tingles, which of course we are searching for, and I am able to acquire these certain activities. So this is a very highly expensive trigger, and you can definitely get that with this one. There's a great expense in the sound, you can just tell. Okay, so how about we get that little bit of a spray? Excellent. So you won't really find this anywhere at the moment. Okay, so if you're ready. I can already see in your face that could be a little bit of a struggle for you. Would you wish me to proceed? Well, you know, I know it's a little bit of a challenge trying to not feel the triggers and tingles to all of these. You could resist as much as you wish, but I can personally see it in your face, and your face is telling me that this one is quite effective for you. It would be because, like I said, it's quite expensive. Okay, and proceed with your left hand. Enough of that particular trigger, as I think that one was quite effective on you. So we want to make sure that we don't overdo it now. Of course, we get that taste of these triggers and tingles at the moment. So, like I said, you can either purchase these, and of course, when I'm able to acquire these certain things, or you can do what you're doing right now and get your ASMR fix, so to speak. So you don't need to acquire any of these illegal ASMR triggers, because, you know, if you have them, everybody will want them if they know that you've got them, and yeah, that's probably not going to be the right attention that you want to acquire for yourself. Okay, so I do have another one which I think could be a little bit more suited for you in this department. These are very fine and delicate triggers, but very effective. So you just let me know what you think of this one. Like I said, I did say it was going to be good. Okay. do believe that's probably quite enough of that one for you. So both those are probably one of the top tier in regards to expense for these particular spray, highly sought after, or should we say highly legal ASMR triggers. And do forgive me there, I appear to be quite hungry. So we have something here which I knew instantly that when I acquired it, that if anybody was going to appreciate this and probably work on anyone here, or anyone that I tend to, shall we say, see, not that there is anyone, of course, because, you know, that's the word, then it's probably going to be you. And I know you, because of previous, shall we say, meetups, shall we say, friendly encounters, it's probably not wise to use the correct terminology of illegal meetings, that when we were going through previous triggers and styles and selecting the appropriate things for you, then there were some which always shone a little bit more, some were a little bit more effective for you, the sounds which would make your triggers pop, so to speak, just a little bit more. So that's the one which I've accumulated with this particular encounter, and I thought homing in for these sprays tend to be quite powerful for a lot of particular friendly clients of mine, you in particular. So I think this one's going to be very well suited for you, and something which you're going to feel the effect straight away. So we have a nice, very small compartment for which the trigger is stored before it is ejected out to make the appropriate high level, high quality tingle sound. Like I said, this is also going to be quite powerful, and they tend to seem to affect you a little bit more than others. Some people are able to receive the ASMR triggers just a bit more than others. However, when it's in a slightly different format, then sometimes it can hit just somewhat differently. So if you think you're ready for this one, so this is of course a very top tier one, you can tell here as well. It does carry diamonds, just to let you know that this is a very important trigger, and use it wisely as well, because you don't wish to be falling asleep literally immediately. Tingle effectiveness is very strong. So, I believe a particular method for using this trigger is to have it in stints. Don't keep it on you for too long, otherwise the strength will feel stronger and stronger. It might be a little bit overpowering. So, in little segments like this, you'll gain the most effective sounds from it, which will enhance your triggers. actually sat behind just for a little bit, as you seem to be caught just on the edge of falling asleep there. And that would have meant that I would have made my quick and swift departure there. So, like I said, instance, this is very powerful. Okay, would you like just a little bit more? I can do that for you, of course. So you can see the effectiveness of that particular one. It's quite strong. But we're going to move on to, we try to keep the triggers as high class as possible, as I know that being an event like this, then you're already quite a high member of society, and you obviously don't wish those particular type of people to see that you're out here trying to acquire some legal triggers and tingles. But it does mean that you are, of course, very eligible to receive these as well, okay, because I'm sure that you know the importance of particular things like this. Okay, so we're going to just take another quick look. Okay, looking over there. And it's all looking good to me. And we'll just keep an eye out, because you know that's what we've got to do. So how are you feeling right now? And were any of those triggers effective for you? Is there a particular fancy that has taken your interest? Indeed, I thought they would as well. Okay, something like this is going to obtain the same sort of level of enjoyment for you. So we're going to just quickly show them. It's in a very small, compact container. Triggers on the go is what I like to call this particular one. Has the effects of the very smooth sounds and tingles and triggers. And because it is illegal, this is very highly sought after. But you can keep it upon your person before no one sees you using this trigger. So if you want sort of tingles on the go, so to speak, then this is very good one for that. And if you need to fall asleep very quickly, then this is also one which will help serve that purpose. So we have a simple twist motion, okay, very simple, and then you're able to acquire your trigger. Okay, so this is really expensive gold, of course, and this is what you expect from a high first class trigger. So just let me know when you're ready to use it. Excellent. Well, let's just go ahead and do that for you. Great. So you can tell from the deepness of the sound that is. This is a very expensive one. I haven't actually shown this to anybody. I was saving it for you. See that it's somewhat effective for you, so I'm just going to speed it up just so slightly here for you. I think you'll be able to handle it. Okay, so it's going to be a bit of a quick fire round here. So that's suit you. That's really good. Okay, so you're ready. Try not to fall asleep. And that's it. See what I mean? This is very much on the go trigger, and this particular one could run out very quickly. So its effectiveness is strong, but don't overdo it, because you will run out. So if you wish to keep that on your person, you can do. It's nice, sleek, thin, and simply just open up for the trigger release there. Also is in that, but this is sort of concealed trigger, so no one really would suspect anything. People probably think it's lipstick or something like that, and not a highly illegal trigger there either. So let's just pop that back in there. So I have upon my person here something which I think would be very good for you in regards to sprays. These two come as a pair. Actually, that one doesn't. That's for after. But this particular one does. This is a very effective trigger as well, with a simple push motion. And this one would last a little bit longer. Its effects perhaps not as strong as the previous ones, but the spray that is given for it is, of course, going to be really good for you. Make sure around here, like I said, the rain seems to follow you literally everywhere, so it's a little bit difficult to keep ear open. Any horse riders or anything like that around here, we don't know. You have no very similar trigger to the previous one, and if it's those spray sounds which you find effective for you, then this is a very highly illegal trigger. So I thought that you were actually falling asleep there, so I had to just stop there I can continue with just a couple more sprays here for you. Excellent. Yeah, so I do believe that's quite a highly effective one there for you. I thought it would be. Well, it's just sometimes those highly sought after sprays tend to be just quite too good, which means that before you know it, that you have probably actually fallen asleep, which perhaps might not be well sought after. And me, as well, a humble purveyor of particular antiquities, that might not look so good on me, okay, if I wasn't being careful in how we apply these certain triggers. So we've gone through quite a collection here for you. However, we have a couple of illegal ones here for you, such as this one here, but we won't go for that yet, because I believe there might be something a little bit older. It's an older trigger, but it's very rare, and this is a very old style trigger. Someone perhaps like ourselves might have been doing this many years ago. Okay, so a trigger like this could be very effective. Because of its rarity, one of the tips with those is not to use it too much, but it's just to add a little bit of spice to your sort of testing sessions there. And we also have another one which I think might be also good for you. So there's exceptionally fine, tiny mist which comes out, but the trigger sound is very powerful and very strong. So you can see why it's very illegal. Quite good enough for you. So I think we've got quite a nice collection of triggers which I think would be very suited for you. And if you're not interested, of course, in acquiring any of them, then this is more of a little sort of fix session where you're able to come out, we're able to discreetly meet. Of course, we don't know each other in there, but out here, of course, we do. We have become acquaintances, friends, I hope. And these sorts of friends don't know each other apart from this moment in time. Excellent. So we have one here, a very special trigger. This one's been most difficult to acquire. However, its effects are going to be really good for you. Okay, a very highly sought after spray. So think you got one. But you get two spray sounds in there. Now be careful with this one. tell why it's very legal, because it's very effective, very good at making people fall asleep. This is the one which I do believe which I thought would have the most pleasurable effect. I believe it has, and it will. And this trigger is not to be overused, of course, in particular stints. You use it often, but when you do, just not for too long. You wouldn't want to lose the effectiveness of a very highly effective trigger such as this. Me. It looks like you might have fallen asleep. Hello? Ah, there you are. I was going to say that's quite an amazing feat you've got there. Being able to fall asleep standing up. That's exceptionally clever. However, I was a little bit worried that I might be able to leave. Like I said, that was very effective, very relaxing trigger, and that's why it remains in the very illegal category. Because everybody will of course want it and use it to fall asleep, and it might be just a little bit too relaxed, get too many ASMR triggers. Okay, so this is a very special one, and I acquired it especially for our meetings today. But as I said, that if you did indeed want to acquire any of these triggers, anything like that, then you know how to get in contact with me. And an arrangement of particular types can I can be able to give you some particular ones, shall we say, and you'll be able to keep hold of them. But however, might I suggest that at meetings like this and encounters like this always will keep the trigger enhanced. So if you don't collect or own the trigger and leave it for your good friend dear old Samuel to be able to locate, acquire and collect these items, to be able to show and be able to use for you to enjoy, relax to, just take a little bit of time out, then that is what I would suggest, because someone such as yourself looks like they want to be, perhaps, you know, not have everybody knowing that you're taking on probably the most effective ASMR tingles and triggers. And of course that means that these particular meetings and all the things that we use, it never loses its taste or something like that, if you know what I mean. You do? Oh, that's so great. So that's the collection I got for you today. Hope it was effective for you, and you managed to find your way back inside more. It's like I said, we can just try not to know each other inside, and if we do bump into each other upon meetings with other people, then we start fresh. Okay, that's so great. Well, it was great to see you again, and I will be on the search out for even more triggers for you, and things which are considered very illegal at the moment, and more so that people are not able to get hold of. And hopefully you want to bring them with you next time. Okay, take care of yourself. Cheers.